when you look at the offense, like we can use this to kind of dive into that game a little bit, because I think if you look at what Miami is doing on offense, there's a complete buy-in here. Like, we know this offense is very good. I think I wrote in 1st and 10, I'm going to be writing about it too again this week. With Tua on the field, they are 2nd in EPA per play, behind the Chiefs, and 2nd in yards per play behind the Bills. And like that's it. Like, they are a top offense when Tua is on the field. So when you can you still have him on a rookie deal, you're trying to get the most before you like really balloon in value with some of these Tyreek Hill, the contract, and Jalen Waddle extension that's going to be coming down the line too. So to get like younger, top tier players coming in like that's fine. And you're not completely mortgaging the future either. You still have 2024 first. You're not like starting to give away like multiple firsts down the line. You're not getting into a Rams or Saints territory here. And I think it's fine. And like you kind of be needing to help that defense a little bit. So it's a bit of an overpay. I like the trade. I think you're going to be looking at, Miami coming in. They're playing the Bears, which, as much as we just kind of talked about Chicago, finding the offense a little bit, and like that's still not a team that you're worried about, right? So I think you kind of look in like this is going to be just a fun offense that continues to put up a lot of points, and so I don't really mind it at all for Miami.
No, I mean, they're 5-3 right now. They've got the Bears this week. They play the Browns, still without Deshaun Watson. They've got a bye week. They play the Texans. Like, you got a chance to be in the driver's seat. They have a really tough finish to the season, but that's why you stack these wins now.
Yeah.
Then you can try to split those. You're cruising. You're in the playoffs in the AFC, and you got a puncher's chance, with them. I'm real curious to see Miami if they're going to be one of these teams like that did like the playoff football narrative, right? Like, to go to Buffalo, because like they can't run the football either. This is a team that can't run the football very well. They're really kind of contingent on this drop back pass game, and it's a great drop back pass game. We need them to stay at home in the playoffs, get to these fair weather cities. But we were in on the Dolphins in the offseason. The offense has been better than I think we both.
This is our yes, as high as we were. And like I wrote like very glowingly about Tua and even like setting expectations and kind of how we talked about Tua. This is already like better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, and you're right. And they're just it's a pull all the right levers type thing. All what I'm going to be writing about is like how Tua is part of. I think like people are still labeling him as like the point guard of this offense, and they're kind of using that in a bit of a derogatory type way. But I think just the way he is able to.
That will always happen though, like because he doesn't throw the ball like Herbert or Mahomes. It's just like that will always happen. Like there will always be that person.
Right, but there's so much of what he does and the speed in which he can process and get the ball out and still push the ball downfield, right? There is no quarterback right now who is throwing 10 or more yards down the field with a lower average time to throw. He is getting that ball out. That is like creating windows that wouldn't be open otherwise. And I had this table in 1st and 10 on the intermediate throws. And you would think like they always look open, right? But when you had either Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson in there, they weren't getting the ball out as quickly, and those windows were closing. And those guys combined for, I think, 4 interceptions, maybe 5. Mm-hmm. And Tua has not thrown an interception into the intermediate. So you kind of see like what that processing speed and just the ability to get the ball out kind of means. And Tua is creating windows himself because of how he is able to get that ball into those parts of the field. And then when you do have a Tyreek Hill or a Jalen Waddle, like they are making those windows even bigger. And that's why this offense is moving. But like Tua is a very big part of why this offense works. And I still think he's like not getting the credit of the part he is playing in this. I think people just kind of see, oh, you have the 2 fastest wide receivers, right. Like anyone can do that. And I think we kind of saw like, obviously there were some injury issues with Thompson and Bridgewater when they were in the field, and neither one of them finished the game they started. But I think we just still saw when they were on the field, like that's not necessarily the case. Like Tua is still bringing an aspect that the Dolphins right now are taking advantage of. And that's why this offense is working the way it does.